We may have seen one of the best playoff goals ever last night. Welcome to From Center Ice. My name is Courtney, and once again, I am here to recap the night that was in NHL playoff hockey. There were 2 games on last night, and we have 2 very different series going on here. But we will just jump into it and get started by talking about the first game that was on. That was Game 4 between the New York Rangers and the Carolina Hurricanes. Let's talk about some goals. 13 minutes and 31 seconds into the first period, the New York Rangers are on the power play. Frank Vatrano has the puck on the right boards, but he is being pestered by the Carolina penalty killers, and he doesn't really have anywhere to go with it, but Adam Fox slides over to the right point to give him a passing option and to help him out a little bit. Vatrano shovels the puck off to him. Adam Fox finds Andrew Copp, who's hanging out on the left point. Once Copp gets the puck, he finds the absolute perfect diagonal passing lane back to Vatrano, who had cut to the net after he shoveled the puck off to Fox. He hits Vatrano with the pass, who doesn't one-time it. He takes that extra second to settle down the puck, and then he just rips it short side on Antti Raanta. 1-0 Rangers. And then roughly 2 minutes later, the Rangers are once again in the offensive zone. Chris Kreider picks up the puck off of the right wall and skates to the top of the right circle to take a shot on net, but his stick shatters while he takes the shot. Fortunately for him, he's able to stick with the puck and he kicks it down low. Andrew Copp is down there watching the play happen, and as the puck comes towards him, he fights the defender to get control of the puck. He sends the puck across the ice to the left point where Ryan Lindgren is waiting for it. Lindgren takes the shot from the top of the left circle with traffic in front of the net. Adam Fox, who is in front of the net and also a defenseman, gets just enough of the puck to deflect it past Antti Raanta. 2-0 Rangers. And that's how the game would go into the first intermission. Off to the second period. And there's not a whole lot of scoring in the second period of this game, but 16 minutes and 48 seconds into the second period, Vatrano and Mika Zibanejad break into the offensive zone. Zibanejad drops the puck to Ryan Lindgren, who is trailing them into the zone. He takes the shot from the high slot, and it hits Antti Raanta super awkwardly, just finding a hole in him somewhere, and the puck ends up sitting behind Raanta, who's pretty high in his crease. Unfortunately for Raanta, but fortunately for the Rangers, Mika Zibanejad finds the puck sitting there behind Raanta and sweeps it into the open net. 3-0 Rangers. On that play, Brett Pesce, defender for the Carolina Hurricanes, had also seen the puck sitting behind Raanta, and he tried to get his stick on it, but his stick got stuck on Ranta's right pad, so he was not able to get his stick free before Zibanejad got to the puck. That is just an unfortunate goal for the Carolina Hurricanes, but a very fortunate goal for the Rangers. And they took that 3-0 lead into the second intermission. On to the third period. 6 minutes and 33 seconds into the third period, there is a board battle on the right wall in the Rangers defensive zone. It is Seth Jarvis of the Carolina Hurricanes along with 3 Rangers. Sebastian Aho comes in to help out his rookie, and he comes up with the puck. He starts skating it toward the net, but instead of taking the shot, he drops the puck to Teuvo Teravainen, who is skating up behind him, and Teuvo makes no mistake placing that puck with a perfect shot high stick side on Igor Shesterkin, and the Carolina Hurricanes were on the board. 3-1 Rangers. But 11 minutes and 10 seconds into the third period, after a neutral zone turnover by the Carolina Hurricanes, Andrew Copp breaks into the offensive zone down the right wing with Ryan Strome basically right on top of him. Copp tosses the puck up to Strome, who skates the puck down toward the right corner. As he is doing so, Copp skates into the right circle and Strome hits him with a nice little pass. The pass goes through Brett Pesce, defender for the Carolina Hurricanes, the same one who got his stick stuck on Antti Ranta's pad. And Andrew Copp wastes no time getting that shot off. It goes into the net. He finally has a goal of his own in this game, and it is 4-1 Rangers. Andrew Copp assisted on the first 2 goals of the game for the Rangers, so getting one himself in the goal column probably felt pretty good. What a big pickup he was for the Rangers from Winnipeg. And you kind of feel bad for Brett Pesce there. The puck goes through him, and then the one before that where he can't get his stick free. He's a very good defender for the Carolina Hurricanes. Just a very unfortunate night for him. But very fortunate for the Rangers, so can't be too upset about it. And 4-1 is how the game ended. Now, it wasn't all just scoring chance after scoring chance back and forth in this game, although at some points it certainly felt like it. And thank goodness these last 2 games we've had in the series have actually been entertaining to watch after the first 2 were complete snooze fests in Carolina. But in the first period, Jacob Trouba, defenseman for the New York Rangers, laid a huge hit on Max Domi, a forward for the Hurricanes. And with the way the hit was lining up, it was a clean play. But unfortunately, right before Trouba makes contact with Domi, Domi starts falling. And this causes the impact from Trouba's hit to be very high and in the head region on Domi, who then crashes into the sideboards. And Steven Lawrence, teammate of Max Domi's, was not very happy about that, so he skates in and fights Jacob Trouba. So they both go off, 5 minutes for fighting, but Lawrence picks up an extra penalty as an instigator, so he gets 2 minutes for that and a 10-minute misconduct. And I saw a lot of questions online about why did Lawrence pick up the extra penalties there, so once again, I consulted the NHL rulebook, and Rule 46.11 lays out the instigator penalty. An instigator of an altercation shall be a player who, by his actions or demeanor, demonstrates any or some of the following criteria: distance traveled, gloves off first punch thrown, menacing attitude or posture, verbal instigation or threats, conduct in retaliation to a prior game or season, incident, obvious retribution for a previous incident in the game or season. Now, you would say that Steven Lawrence was instigating based on the hit laid on Domi by Trouba, so the instigator penalty makes sense to me. What I didn't know is that when you get a 2-minute instigator penalty, that you also automatically get the 10-minute misconduct. That is where my question came in, but that is laid out next in this rule. A player who is deemed to be the instigator of an altercation shall be assessed an instigating minor penalty, a major penalty for fighting, and a 10-minute misconduct. And then it goes on to lay out what happens if they get a second or a third. So I think that the officials made the correct ruling in this case, and there has been a lot of horrendous officiating here in the playoffs, and I am not saying that they made the right call just because I am sitting here in a Rangers jersey. I have also called them out when they have really messed up on calls against the team I am not rooting for, but strictly calling this play by the rulebook, the hit by Trouba was not an illegal play, so he did not get assessed any other penalties for that outside of the 5 minutes for fighting Lawrence, and he was instigating that fight, so he gets the 2-minute instigator, and of course it is an automatic 10-minute misconduct. Now, we could always go into a deeper discussion about should that hit by Trouba be considered legal, and I have said many times that I think any hit to the head should be an automatic major penalty, whether it's intentional or not. So in my opinion, he should have gotten an extra penalty for it, but with the way that it is ruled based on the NHL rulebook, that is not an illegal hit. It's rather unfortunate, but until they actually start taking head injuries and hits to the head seriously, that is a legal play in the NHL. Now, thankfully, Domi was able to come back in this game. I hope that he was taken off the ice for a bit by the concussion spotters, and I didn't notice him there for a while, but that doesn't mean that he wasn't there. But I hope that he was checked out for a concussion and was cleared, and that's why he was there at the end of the game. So that lays that topic to rest. But also, just because the Rangers did score 4 goals in this game, Antti Raanta once again played very well for them. The goaltending on both sides in this game was very fun to watch. About a minute and 15 seconds into the game, Igor Shesterkin absolutely robbed Brett Pesce, who was wide open, and Igor had to slide from his right to his left and he just got a piece of that puck. Poor Brett Pesce, man, this is a game he's going to want to forget. And he wasn't even bad. It was just unfortunate. A little over 2 minutes after that, Antti Raanta made a big save on a Lafreniere breakaway. 2 minutes into the second period, Igor Shesterkin absolutely robs Teuvo Teravainen with his toe. Both goaltenders in this series now coming up with huge saves with their toes. Antti Raanta in game 1, Igor Shesterkin in this one on Teuvo Teravainen. What a save! About 10.5 minutes into the second period, Chris Kreider and Mika Zibanejad get in on a short-handed rush. Antti Raanta stops that one with a huge save of his own. 9.5 minutes into the third period, Raanta stops an Artemi Panarin breakaway chance. So this game was not on Raanta, that is for sure. Both goalies, man, they have played extremely well in this series. And even though the Rangers lost the first 2 games in Carolina, Igor Shesterkin only allowed 2 goals in both of those games. Game 1, the Hurricanes won 2-1. Game 2, they won 2-0. And then the series shifted to New York, and he only allowed 1 goal per game. Game 3, the Rangers won 3-1. Game 4, they won 4-1. So they were finally giving Shesterkin some run support. On the other hand, Carolina stopped giving Antti Raanta some goal support. But they also haven't won a game on the road in the playoffs so far. Boston won all 3 of the games at home in the first round. Thankfully, Carolina had home ice advantage, so they were able to take it in 7. But I think this series shifting to New York for these past 2 games is something the Rangers very much needed because they looked a lot better than they did in those first 2 games. They looked more intentional with their decision making and their plays. They were stronger on the puck. They were in on the forecheck. They were causing turnovers instead of just turning the puck over to the Hurricanes. They were pushing the play away from their own net, and they were capitalizing on the Hurricanes' mistakes. And I think maybe them getting back into the groove there will make the rest of this series a lot better, because now, of course, it shifts back to Carolina for Game 5, and the Hurricanes have won every game on home ice, so I wouldn't necessarily say that these 2 games that they played kind of poorly in New York would reflect how they play in Game 5, but I do think that the Rangers will come into that game with a better showing than what they had in the first 2 games. So even if the Canes do pull out another home win, hopefully it's at least a bit more entertaining. But I have gone on for a while about Game 4 there in the East, so let's transition to talking about the night game last night, and that was Game 4 of the Battle of Alberta between the Edmonton Oilers and the Calgary Flames. And this series has certainly taken a turn, but to jump into this one, let's talk about the goals! And 21 seconds into the first period here, there was a puck battle on the right boards, but the Calgary Flames could not clear the puck, which kind of turned into a theme for them last night. But the Oilers dumped it in deep. Markstrom went behind the net to play it, and then I don't know what he did, because he just kind of bunted it out to the side of the net. And unfortunately for him, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins was standing right there and deposited that puck right into the empty net where Jacob Markstrom should have been, but wasn't. 1-0 Edmonton, 21 seconds in. Oh, Markstrom. Oh, Markstrom, you have not been good in this series. But 9 minutes and 53 seconds into the first period, the Edmonton Oilers are on the power play, which I would really advise the Flames to stop giving them power play time, because Leon Draisaitl has the puck in the right circle. He's surveying his options. He tosses the puck to Connor McDavid, who's in that bumper roll there. McDavid takes the shot. Markstrom makes a save, but Zach Hyman, who was just camped out on the right side of the net for about 20 years, cleans up the loose puck, puts it into the back of the net. 2-0 Oilers. 18 minutes and 54 seconds into the first period, Erik Gudbranson and Connor McDavid go crashing into the end wall behind Jacob Markstrom. But the puck ends up on the right boards, and once again, the Calgary Flames cannot clear the puck out of the zone. Cody Ceci bumps Gaudreau on the board, so he's not able to clear it. That causes the puck to pop out to Leon Draisaitl. Shouldn't the Flames know not to let him get the puck by now? Draisaitl sends the puck up to the blue line where Evander Kane picks it up and takes just a weak wrister from the high slot. And it just sails high, stick side on Jacob Markstrom and into the net. 3-0 Oilers. Now, it may have been deflected, but the defender really didn't get a huge piece of the puck, if at all. That goal was just inexcusable for Markstrom to let in. And with that being near the end of the first period, I really thought that Sutter should have pulled him in the second period, not let him come out to play, put Dan Vladar in, because somewhere along the way, Jacob Markstrom's game just fell off a cliff after the regular season. He has been bad in this series. Granted, the Oilers have been making some very good things happen, but then there are goals like that where your goaltender has to make that save, and he just did not. So this game goes into the first intermission with the Edmonton Oilers up 3-0. On to the second period. 9 minutes and 4 seconds into the second period, the Flames are on the power play. Noah Hanifin has the puck at the right point. He passes it down to the half wall where Elias Lindholm is waiting for it. Lindholm skates to the middle of the ice looking for the shot, just waiting. And then as he is waiting and moving closer to the center of the ice, he just rips it top stick side on Mike Smith, and the Flames are on the board. 3-1 Oilers. And that goal was pretty. Just with how Lindholm outweighted the defenders, outweighted Mike Smith, just had all of the patience in the world and then just sniped it. Oh, it was beautiful. And then about 40 seconds later, Tanev forces a turnover as Edmonton is trying to break into the offensive zone on the left wing side. Michael Backlund picks up the puck in the neutral zone, breaks into the offensive zone down the right wing, just skates to the net, and from the bottom of the right circle just shoots it far side on Mike Smith, and that puck is in. 3-2 Edmonton. And now, about halfway through this one, we finally have a game. The Calgary Flames are only down by 1 goal. They have finally showed some sort of life and scored some nice goals themselves, but they couldn't get another one in the second period. Fortunately for them, neither could Edmonton, so this game goes 3-2 into the second intermission. On to the third period. 10 minutes and 56 seconds into the third period, Edmonton is on the power play, but Evander Kane loses the puck as he is trying to enter the offensive zone on the left side. Rasmus Andersson picks up the puck and he just lofts the puck down the ice toward Mike Smith's net. And it goes in! Rasmus Andersson shot this puck from inside of his own blue line, and it just goes past Mike Smith. It was not an empty net goal. Mike Smith just lost sight of the puck as it went high, and he lost it in the crowd, and then it just goes past him. That might be the best playoff goal I have ever seen. And it was short-handed. Forget about Markstrom misplaying the puck 21 seconds into this game and giving Ryan Nugent-Hopkins an empty net to shoot at. Mike Smith was in the net for this one, and he didn't even react. It just went past him. That was amazing. What wasn't amazing is how the Calgary Flames couldn't take advantage of that. 16 minutes and 33 seconds into the third period, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins dumps the puck into the offensive zone. Zach Hyman chases it down. Kyler Yamamoto comes up with it, skates it behind the net, brings it around the left side. He throws it out high to Tyson Barrie, who shoots the puck from the high slot. Markstrom makes the save! But he doesn't soak up the puck, and neither he nor Shillington can get to it before Ryan Nugent-Hopkins puts it in the net. 4-3 Edmonton. After Rasmus Andersson had tied up this game on a short-handed goal from his own defensive zone, the Calgary Flames cannot apply the pressure to get the go-ahead goal. Nugent-Hopkins does. And then with just under 3 minutes to play, Rasmus Andersson goes to the box on a double minor for high sticking. So barring 2 quick goals from the Oilers, the Flames are going to spend the rest of the game on the penalty kill, and they do end up pulling Markstrom with about 1 minute to go, making it 5-on-5, but that means their net is empty, and with 35 seconds to go in the game, Evander Kane hits the empty net. 5-3 Oilers. And now the series shifts back to Calgary, but the Oilers have a 3-1 series lead. After Calgary came out and beat Edmonton 9-6 in game 1, it looks like Calgary just gave up playing. Side note, has anybody checked in on Brady Tkachuk lately? Because he's been MIA since game 1, and I really think that Matthew needs him, because Matthew Tkachuk got a hat trick in game 1 when we know for sure that Brady was there in the stands. But ever since then, he's looked bad. But the whole team has. And what's really stood out to me as the difference between the Flames and the rest of the teams left in the playoffs, and I tweeted this last night, but they are just weak on the puck. They don't really fight for the loose pucks. They give up on board battles. They just aren't playing hard, and they keep passing pucks into the skates of the Oilers instead of connecting with their teammates. They look disorganized. They look like they don't have any fire in them, which is funny because they are the Flames. They should have lots of fire. They are fire. But you would not be able to tell from the way they play on the ice that they won the Pacific Division. It's just kind of been sad. After that game 1, it was like, oh my goodness, this is going to be the best series ever. And while it hasn't necessarily been boring, there's been some crazy stuff happen, that's for sure. The Flames game falling off as much as it has really just made it frustrating to watch. And Jacob Markstrom, my dude, you need to play better. A Vezina Trophy finalist. You wouldn't be able to tell from this series. Are the Flames capable of coming back and winning 3 straight games to take the series in 7? Of course they are. Edmonton has won 3 straight games to get where we are right now, and Calgary has a very good team that played very well in the regular season. Granted, they were almost outed by the Dallas Stars in the first round, but they are totally capable of coming back. Is Jacob Markstrom capable of coming back and being his good goaltending form once again? We saw flashes of it in last night's game. After that first period, he came up with some huge saves for the Flames. Not enough of them, but he did only allow 1 goal after that first period, since the last one was an empty netter. So the Flames are really gonna have to dig deep here as they go back home for game 5. Hopefully Brady Tkachuk is in the stands because Matthew needs him, and hopefully they extend this series to at least 6. But we shall see whether that happens or not. So that's gonna be all from me in this one. Let me know what you think of the playoffs so far. Which series has been your favorite to watch? Is your team still in it? Let me know. Was your team eliminated? Let me know that. Did your team not even make the playoffs, like my Blackhawks? Let me know that as well. But if you want to hear more from me or from Center Ice, you can head on over to From Center Ice. There's links to all the places you can find us over there. If you want to follow along on social media, all of the links for those platforms are down in the description for you. And if you're not subscribed to this channel yet, go ahead and do that. Give this video a like because that would make me so very happy. All of that being said, thank you all so very much for tuning in. I appreciate each and every one of you. And let's see what the Avalanche and Blues give us tonight. I will catch y'all in the next video. Bye guys.